don't even know where to begin with this review. I don't. People got up and left in my auditorium. There were certain scenes people got up and left the theater, and I sat there in a moment where my mouth actually dropped, and I covered my mouth, and I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching, in a good way. The Substance stars Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, and is about a fading celebrity who decides to use a black market drug, a substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. From writer and director Coralie Fargeat, I know I butchered that name. She's a French director who also directed Revenge. I really like this movie. And now we have her brand new movie, The Substance. I didn't see a trailer for this movie. I saw a YouTube ad, like one of those like 10-second ones, and I saw like maybe one or two people bring it up through Twitter or such, and they had an early showing tonight at Regal, and I was like, I'll go see this movie. Wow. I really don't know how to talk about this movie without doing spoilers, but I'm not going to do spoilers. I have to say, this horror movie, it's a horror movie, is not for everybody. And I really, really mean that, because this is one of the most different, original, out there horror movies I have ever seen. And listen, there's a lot of horror movies out there that I have not seen. But for me, this brought me in a level of like, I've never seen this be done on screen in such a creative, stylistic way that I was so involved in this movie. There's a lot of good, but we'll talk about the weird at the end. So let's begin with the positives. So the director of this movie, who I will not try to say her name again, she does a fantastic job. She really just knows the messages she wants to put, and she knows these actors and how to put them in the situations that can really produce the best quality. Her direction is powerful. It's really, really good in this movie. I honestly think her directing is better in this movie than it was in Revenge, and I really like Revenge. But this movie, she gives off just such a tonal vibe of dark humor, horror moments, while adding a little bit of just cheeky comedy, and it was just perfectly balanced. Her direction is fan-freaking-tastic. I cannot wait to see what she does next. She also has a great performance in this movie. Demi Moore, in my opinion, gives one of, if not her best performance. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but what Demi Moore goes through in this movie at the beginning is like, dang, she's really, really good. By the end of this movie, I'm like, she's giving Oscar-worthy performance. And a lot of it might help with just the makeup and prosthetics she gets to wear in the later half of this movie, but she really is powerful in this movie. Demi Moore is fantastic. Margaret Qualley in this movie, very, very good. Listen, I've not loved her movies this year with Drive Away Dolls and Kinds of Kindness. Her performance in both those movies is very good. She's very good in this movie. I've always liked her since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Maid. She's a fantastic actress, and I love seeing her, and she is so good. Her and Demi Moore, they give it all in this movie. They really do. Like, their performances, and for everyone out there, yes, they are both full frontal nudity in this movie, and they go for it, and they do it in a way where it doesn't just feel tasteless. There are times where I feel like, you know what, there's a lot of butt shots and a lot of just vagina shots, basically, that can feel like, okay, do we need this much? But the movie is always trying to tell you a message about beauty, the body, women growing older and being like pushed away because of their beauty, becoming older. The message is so powerful. And at the very end of this movie, they make it very in your face. And I will say it's a little on the nose, but how they do it is creative and different. The third act, the last just half of this movie, the makeup and prosthetics is amazing. It is amazing. And this ending, I can't spoil anything, guys. There's so much blood. The score, the editing, this ending was beautiful for a horror fan. Honestly, it was so out there and crazy. If you've ever seen the movie Society, it's Society meets The Fly. That's this ending. in the best way. And Society is one of those movies where I love how weird and great it is. This movie is in that same category as Society. I love this movie in the weirdest ways. This movie is not for everyone. If you have a quimsy stomach, there might be times in this movie where you're like, ugh, because a lot in this movie, she does a lot of zoom ins and a lot of sound design where, like, in one scene, Dennis Quaid is eating a shrimp, I believe, and, like, you see, like, each bite in his mouth. You hear the crunch. You hear him, like, lick his lips, whatever. You hear him, like, put a cigarette in his mouth and light it, whatever. There's times like that where it's like, ew, it's so gross. But compared to what you see in this movie, it's like, that's nothing. This third act, man, I can't even, oh my God, I want to talk about it so bad. It is insane. It is insane. It is fucking insane. I know the poster said that, but guess what? I don't care. I'm taking that quote. This movie is crazy. It's bonkers. It's so original and creative that I was so into it, with the great messages, the great performances, cinematography. The score was so good. The editing, so much good in this movie. There is a few issues, just a few though. Number one, I feel like every male character in this movie was over the top. Dennis Quaid, sometimes I'm like, what movie are you in, dude? Like, he's not bad, but like, it's so over the top. And most male characters in this movie are over the top. And I don't know if that's something to do with like women and men. Like, there might be some messages or themes there. I'm not really sure, but it seemed like if it wasn't our main two actors, everyone else in this movie was like over the top cartoon. Like, I was like, I don't get it, honestly. And I will say, the movie felt a little long. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It felt a little long. Towards like the end, after a certain moment happens, it's like, we're pushing it just a little bit. But again, I thought this movie was weird, and I loved it. The acting, amazing. Directing, amazing. The writing, powerful. It's a movie I would 100% watch again. It is one of the most boldest, weirdest horror movies of the year. Honestly, for my lifetime, one of the weirdest, strange movies I've ever seen. But this ending, the whole movie just led to something that I walk away and I will not forget. I'm going to give The Substance a strong A-. This one's going to stay in my brain for a while. Honestly, like this was different, guys. This was really different. If this movie comes out near you this weekend, give it a chance. To the horror fans, general audiences, I probably wouldn't tell you to go see it. Seriously, this is a movie I would not tell my mom or dad to go watch. But my like good horror friends out there, check this one out for sure. And you guys enjoy this movie review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.